Thank you. Welcome to those in the Del Mar Center Hall, those on Zoom, and later on YouTube. My name is Linda C. McCabe, and I am the current chair of the Sea Ranch Forum. Sea Ranch Forum is not an official function of the Sea Ranch Association. It is organized by Sea Ranch members and is independent of the board of directors and staff, and was originally founded in 1973. This particular meeting is a joint effort between the Forum and the Sea Ranch Vision Committee, and I want to thank Cynthia Bogalub and Christine Kraling for their help. And today's topic is inspired by this being the 60th anniversary year of the founding of the Sea Ranch. And it is 60 years retrospective of the Mendonoma Community, a celebration including the founding and evolution of key institutions in our community. We will be hearing We will be hearing from 9 different spokespeople from these key institutions of our community. Each one will be giving a 10-minute presentation, and we will be going in a mostly chronological order. So please hold any questions you have until the end. Many of them also have displays at the back of the room in case you would like to learn more about them and how you can help support these vital organizations. Thank you. Next is Rachel Gagnon, Outreach Coordinator for Redwood Coast Land Conservancy.
Thank you so much. Can you hear
Bringing
me
it
a little closer? Okay. My adrenaline is still really pumping after those last stories. Thank you so much. And we're so grateful to be a part of this group. It's a wonderful group of community organizations.
Bring it closer to you. Yeah.
Right up to your mouth.
Better? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. I'm Rachel Gagnon. I am the Outreach Director for Redwood Coast Land Conservancy. We are one of the newer organizations in this group. We were founded in 1992 by local volunteers, many of whom are sea ranchers. We were founded by a group who wanted to protect and share the coastal habitats of this incredible region. Next slide. You may have seen us out and about in the community. We are often tabling events, whether it's up in Point Arena. We are out there often on a pay and take Saturday, and we are sharing our mission to preserve native habitats, restore damaged ones, and create ways for the public to enjoy and connect with nature. Community is a theme you're going to be hearing quite a bit throughout this presentation. You've heard it a lot today. It is at the heart of RCLC's history, and it's also critical to our future ambitions. Next slide. So another big part of our history is, of course, the land we protect. As a land trust, RCLC has required key properties and conservation easements, protect critical habitats along the coast. You may be familiar with this one. It's a quite popular beach. This is Cook's Beach, which is just about 2 miles north of Wallala. It is a beautiful beach. It's very popular, but it was historically challenging for the public to access it. So in 2003, generous donation from the Bonham family to RCLC secured 2 easements that now provide access to the beach and a stunning view of the coast from the bluffs. It's a very popular spot, as I said. There's families, there's dog walkers, but nature does keep us on our toes, which is where the volunteers come into play. They are out there repairing the trail. The storms sort of take a beating on the steps. They're out there fixing the steps, and they're removing weeds. They're often removing doggy bags that may be left behind, and they're planting native plants. Next slide. Another spot that I'm guessing you're quite familiar with is the Wallala Bluff Trail. So this is a walk that's right behind downtown Wallala. It is a beautiful, quite short trail, but it has striking views of the estuary. It also requires weekly upkeep, and again, thanks to a dedicated crew of volunteers. They're out there every week, and they're shouldering these responsibilities since 2013 when the trail was incepted. The future goal, which Sue touched on a bit, was that we will be able to connect this trail to Mill Bend and to the Arts Center. So that's in the future. Next slide. This is another property that you may be less familiar with. I know I was when I moved here. This is Hearn Gulch, which is just south of Point Arena. It is actually our first property that we acquired, and it was acquired between 2001 and 2005. It also has an interesting history of the timber industry here, which is a history that's really interwoven with a lot of the land that I'll be speaking about. It was a bustling dog hole port. It was called Saunders Landing, and the redwood would come in and out, the ships would come here and it would be sent out to sea at this port. As you can see, nature has reclaimed this landscape and RCLC is here to help support that. Again, with the help of volunteers who are out there removing weeds, repairing trails, and planting native plants. Next slide. So I think if you tap this image, the image will move. Yes, you are likely very familiar with this view. This is Mill Bend Preserve. This is where the Wallala River meets the ocean. You can see Highway 1 there that connects our counties. This is probably the most momentous community-wide endeavor that RCLC has been a part of. This is a 113-acre property, and again, it sits where the Wallala River meets the ocean, and it's along Sonoma County's Wallala Point Regional Park. Go to the next slide. I think you have to, yeah, there we go. This is a bit of its history. So once again, the timber industry was a big part of this. Back in the 1800s, this area was a hub for the timber industry. There were 2 mills. So there was one in what it was known as China Gulch, and then there was another mill that was down near the mouth of the river, and it would process coastal redwoods, send those redwoods out into the community. It's why Wallala really boomed at the time. There was a big economic driver, and the mills were in existence for about 40 years. Next slide. So this is a view of Mill Bend at that time. This is back in the 1800s. And if you do the next slide, you will see that same view today. As can be imagined, having decades and decades of that industry has significantly impacted the habitat and the land. So when this property was up for sale, RCLC was able to work with a conservation buyer. So the conservation buyer held the property while RCLC raised the funds to purchase and protect it. So this was thanks to community support and then also funding from the State Coastal Conservancy, California Natural Resources Agency, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and then we reached our goal in 2020, and we officially took ownership in 2021. Next slide. So we have this property. What does that mean for the future of Mill Bend? Well, in 2024, we received a grant for the California State Coastal Conservancy to develop a long-term plan for Mill Bend Preserve. This is really a blueprint to help guide the restoration of native plant communities and improve public access. We work with an ecological consulting firm, PCI, and they are helping us design the plan, and a lot of this work is currently underway. So this is just an example of some of the plans that are in the plan, but you can see some of the spots that are going to be restored, some of the disturbances that will be removed, and there's a lot more to come. Next slide. So this is an example of some of the habitat that we are restoring. There's alder forests, bishop pine, habitats of redwood forests, the willow thickets, coastal scrub, emergent wetlands, and really the Wallala River estuary itself. Mill Bend Preserve Conservation Plan describes these measures. You can find that on our website, and it's all about how we're going to restore habitat health, support native species, and adapt to climate change. Next slide. Cannot go without speaking to the importance of the Wallala River. The coho salmon is actually an important element of this river, and especially the history of this river. Coho salmon and steelhead trout used to be thriving in the estuary. It is no longer the case. These are important species to the health of the overall ecosystem. If you go to the next slide, you'll see another guy who's important to the ecosystem, and that is the red-legged frog. It also includes harbor seals, river otters, birds like osprey and bald eagles. It truly is a vital ecosystem that we hope to restore. So through a grant from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, we are currently designing habitat enhancements to support these fish and the estuary and improve the likelihood that these species will once again thrive. Next slide. So here is some of our volunteers hard at work. Some of the present work that's happening is intensive habitat restoration. Our growing staff is working alongside a team of volunteers to remove plants like Scotch broom and ciabatta grass. If you live on the coast, you're probably very familiar with those plants and how challenging they are to remove. They're also important to remove because they're invasive, and invasive plants are flammable. So we received a grant that was funding our wildfire resilience efforts. And their removal not only benefits this ecosystem, but also helps protect the adjoining community. Next slide. And here's more of our volunteers hard at work. They are very tolerant with me being a paparazzi. Lots of great action shots. Next slide. I think another really exciting part of our history and also the property itself is the cemetery. If you're not familiar, up on the upland portion of Millbend Preserve across from the cottage is a historic cemetery dating back to 1870. When we acquired the property, it was very overgrown and neglected. But again, through a team of volunteers, it was restored. You can visit it and see the restored monuments. There's new fencing, new signage, and importantly, a lot of research has been done on the history of the families who've been buried here. So if you go, there are QR codes, you can read about it, and you can go to the website and learn more. Next slide. So as I mentioned before, public access is a big part of our vision. You can also access Millbend now. You can go and visit. There are trails. There are truly spectacular views of the estuary. We have a point in the estuary where you can take a kayak out with Riverbend kayaks. So I would encourage you to explore now. But we also are working with PCI on what access will look like in the future. So looking at opportunities for additional trails and ways to balance protection with public access and enjoyment. Next slide. We also really love to share the space with our community through events. So this is our bird walks. They're very popular. You will explore the estuary, you'll explore the uplands. I highly recommend joining on one of those. We have native plant walks as well. It's a great way to learn the plants in our region. And we are looking to expand our programming. So if you have ideas, if you have skills, please let us know. We are eager for new ideas and we're looking for new ways to involve the community. Next slide. This is one of the programs we are most proud of. It is called Kids in Kayaks, and we work with the local schools and Riverbend Kayaks and invite students to come explore the river, and they get to learn firsthand about the local ecosystem. Next slide. This is another great one where kids come and families join. This is the wreath making event that we do every year, and we gather natural materials from Millbend and make wreaths and decorations. And again, it's programs like these that help a new generation learn about the beauty of this space, the Walla River watershed, and develop a deeper understanding of why it's so important to protect it. So if it looks like we're doing a lot of things and we're gearing up for other big things, it's because that's true. We are a very small land trust, but we have a big job, and that job is to protect and sometimes assist in the repair of nature. As has been true throughout the history of RCLC, this community is what makes these ambitions possible, so thank you. And as I said before, we really want to hear from you, whether it's ideas for programs, whether it's ways to get involved, your priorities for conservation. We are all ears. Here is my personal contact information. I have my business cards in the back, brochures, visit our website, but we would love to hear from you. Thank you.